People are often surprised to find that there were orchestras in the camps. In Auschwitz alone, there are several orchestras throughout that large camp complex, including a 125-piece symphony orchestra in the main camp, orchestras in the men's and women's camps of Birkenau, and various ensembles throughout the subcamps of Auschwitz. These orchestras were comprised of prisoners who were forced to play as part of their forced labor. Every morning, they would play these schmaltzy German marches as their fellow prisoners marched out of camp for their grueling labor in their orderly rows of five. The Germans like to have these marches to enforce marching discipline, to allow the rows of prisoners to stay in step so that they could be easily counted in the rows of five. When the last of the parade had left, the musicians of the orchestra would pack up their instruments and they too would go out for labor. But they would be the last ones out and the first ones to come home every night to set the orchestra back up and be there to welcome their fellow prisoners as they dragged their exhausted bodies back into camp after a day of grueling labor. Again, playing these schmaltzy, peppy German marches to help them stay in step. In exchange for their memberships in the orchestra, the musicians sometimes received slightly less work details, slightly warmer uniforms, perhaps a little bit more food. And while membership in the orchestra by no means assured one's survival in Auschwitz, for a number of those musicians, it did give them just enough advantages to live one more day, then one more day, and then one more day, until ultimately they outlived the Nazi regime.